9 candidates contested this election. The results conveyed to the Commission by returning officers through the statutory forms, Form 16, the one I was showing you, these forms, are as follows. Sorry, this form are as follows. Honorable Mwai Kibaki, 4,584,721. 4,584,721. Mr.
Last 5 months, Kenya has been without an electoral body after the Electoral Commission of Kenya was disbanded. But yesterday's formal appointment of the new interim independent electoral commission by President Mwai Kibaki finally filled that void. The team that is expected to be sworn in next week by Chief Justice Issack is headed by lawyer Ahmed Issack. In an interview with Citizen TV, Issack said his team was ready to get down to business.
Again? Raila Odinga, 5,340,546. Uhuru Kenyatta, 6,173,433.
So Kenyans came out and voted on the 9th of August, and these are the results of what the will of the Kenyan people reflects. These results are in the public portal. The same results which I'm reading here are the ones in the public portal. Odinga Raila, total valid votes, 6,942,930. And this represents 48.85% of the votes garnered, and he achieved a number of counties the candidate attained with at least 25% of the total valid votes cast is 34 counties.
Dark Echoes 254. Every 5 years, people disappear. Every 5 years, the system breaks. Why is the most dangerous job in Kenya being an election official? To understand the IEBC of 2026, we have to look back at a time when the referees weren't even allowed on the pitch. In the early years of the Republic, the Electoral Commission of Kenya, ECK, was less an independent body and more of a quiet wing of the executive. The first men to hold the chairmanship were heavyweights of the establishment, Sir Humphrey Slate and Senator Timothy Chokwe. They presided over an era where the results was never in doubt. The Kanu machine was absolute. But the shadow of the office began to lengthen in 1985 with the appointment of James Nyamweya. Nyamweya was a loyalist, tasked with overseeing the controversial Mlolongo queuing system of the late 80s. Under his watch, the concept of a secret ballot was nearly buried. Nyamweya survived his tenure, but he died in 1995, just as the nation began to revolt against the system he had helped manage. The message from the 80s was clear. The ECK chairman was a gatekeeper for the presidency, and the gate was beginning to creak. If Nyamweya was the gatekeeper, Justice Zacchaeus Chesoni was the man who saw the gate torn down. Appointed in 1991, Chesoni was the face of the first multi-party elections in 1992 and the follow-up in 1997. He was a brilliant jurist, but his chairmanship was plagued by allegations of bias towards the Moi regime. He was the man who had to navigate the tribal clashes of the 90s and the rising fury of an opposition that felt cheated. In a move that many saw as a reward for his steady hand during the 1997 election, President Moi appointed Chesoni as the 11th Chief Justice of Kenya in December 1997. It was the pinnacle of a legal career, but the curse of the seat does not care for promotions. Barely 2 years into his role as Chief Justice, on December 5th, 1999, Chesoni died suddenly at the Nairobi hospital. The official cause? Bacterial meningitis. But in the corridors of power, the timing was seen as a message. He was only 63 years old. He took the secrets of the 1992 and 1997 polls to a grave in Webuye, leaving behind a legacy that was as brilliant as it was shadowed. He was the first high-profile chairman to die in untimely death. Shortly after his electoral duties, setting a terrifying precedent for the new millennium. After Chesoni's promotion, the mantle fell to Samuel Kivuitu. For a decade, Kivuitu was a hero. He oversaw the 2002 transitions, the only time in Kenya's history power shifted peacefully from KANU to the opposition. He was sharp, witty, and seemingly untouchable. But the 2007 general election changed everything. Kivuitu was reappointed by President Mwai Kibaki just months before the votes, a move that the opposition saw as a declaration of war. What followed at the KICC in December 2007 remains the darkest chapter in Kenya's electoral history. Kivuitu, looking exhausted and surrounded by paramilitary police, announced Kibaki as the winner in a room where only one media house, IEBC, was present. His subsequent admission, "I do not know who won," became the epitaph of the IEBC. The IEBC was disbanded in shame in 2008, but for Kivuitu, the disbanding was just the beginning of his end. He spent his final 5 years fighting a dual battle, a legal fight for his reputation and a physical fight for his health. He was diagnosed with throat cancer, a grueling illness that silenced the man known for his sharp tongue. On February 25, 2013, just 1 week before Kenya was set to hold its next general election, Samuel Kivuitu died of cardiac arrest at Mpesha Hospital. He was 74. The timing was eerie. The ghost of 2007 had returned to claim the referee just as the whistle was about to blow for a new match. Following the 2008 violence, the IIEC, later IEBC, was formed with Ahmed Issack Hassan at the helm. Hassan was young and reform-minded, overseeing the 2010 referendum and the 2013 general election. But by 2016, the presidential shadow returned. Violent street protests led by the opposition hounded him and his commissioners. Hassan didn't die in office, but his career was effectively executed. He was forced into the negotiated exit under a cloud of corruption allegations, the Chicken Gate scandal, becoming another official who left anniversary towers not with a handshake but with a scar. As the 2017 general election approached, the battlefield shifted. It was no longer just about ballot papers. It was about servers, algorithms, and the KIEMS kit. At the center of this digital fortress stood Christopher Chege Msando, the IEBC ICT manager. He was the man who held the encryption keys to the nation's democratic vaults. On the night of July 28, 2017, just 10 days before the election, Msando vanished. For 48 hours, the country held its breath until his body was found in the thickets in Kikuyu, alongside the body of a young woman, Carol Ngumbu. The details were gruesome. Msando hadn't just been killed, he had been tortured. His limbs bore the marks of a man who was forced to give up something, likely the password out to the IEBC servers. The official cause of death was strangulation, but the political cause was clear. He knew too much and refused to compromise. Msando's death remains the darkest echo in the 254. It sent a message to every official at anniversary towers. Technology cannot save you from the shadow. His murder triggered a chain reaction that led to the first ever nullification of a presidential election in Africa, leaving the chairman, Wafula Chebukati, to manage a repeat poll in a state of mourning and absolute isolation. Following the 2017 chaos, the commission began to eat itself. Dr. Roselyn Akombe, a brilliant commissioner, fled to the United States in October 2017, claiming her life was in danger and that the commission was under the thumb of political players. She became the first living ghost of the IEBC, an official who survived only by leaving the country. By 2022 election, the curse evolved into psychological and physical warfare at the Bomas of Kenya. As the results were being tallied, the commission split down the middle. 4 commissioners, Juliana Cherera, Irene Masit, Justus Nyamweya, and Francis Wanderi, famously walked out of Serena Hotel, disowning the results as opaque. The drama didn't end with a press conference. In the months that followed, the Cherera 4 were hounded by tribunals. 3 resigned in quick succession to avoid prosecution, while Irene Masit was eventually removed. They didn't die physically, but their careers were incinerated in the heart of the Bomas fire. They became the exiled 4, a warning that even survival at the IEBC comes at the cost of your reputation and your future in the 254. While the chairmen fought in the limelight, the curse reached down to the field officers. Daniel Musyoka, the returning officer for Embakasi East, disappeared from the Eastlands Tallying Center on August 11, 2022, after stepping out to take a phone call. 5 days later, his body was found at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro in Loitoktok. Like Msando before him, Musyoka was a man of integrity who reportedly refused to adjust the numbers. His death proved that the Deadliest seat wasn't just in Nairobi, it followed due to the constituencies. He was a father and a civil servant who paid the ultimate price for a tallying sheet. For a while, it seemed Wafula Chebukati had beaten the curse. He was the first chairman to serve a full 6-year term, 2017 through 2023. He survived the 2017 nullification, the 2022 Bomas scuffles where he was physically assaulted on live TV, and the intense heat of 2 Supreme Court petitions where he retired in January of 2023. He was hailed by some as a hero of democracy and by others as a villain. But the silence of retirement was short-lived. In late 2024, reports began to filter through that the Iron chairman was unwell. He had retreated to his home and sought specialized treatment abroad. On 14th February 2025, the news broke. Wafula Chebukati had passed away at the hospital in Nairobi. The official family statement cited a long battle with brain cancer, glial tumor, leading to cardiac arrest. He was only 63. While the medical cause was clear, the citizen couldn't ignore the timing. Like Chesoni and Kivuitu before him, the man who held the most secrets in Kenya didn't get to enjoy a decade of peace. The stress of the Bomas fire and the 2022 split seemed to have taken a biological toll that no medical intervention could reverse. He was buried in March of 2025 in Kitale, taking the final secrets of the 2022 opaque election to the grave. As we record this in February 2026, the seat is no longer empty. Dr. Erasmus Ethikon was appointed in May of 2025 to lead the reconstituted IEBC. He enters a building at Anniversary Towers that is haunted by the memories of Msando's torture, Musyoka's disappearance, and Chebukati's silent decline. The curse is currently in a state of hibernation as the 2027 boundary delimitation begins. But the pattern is unbeatable. From 1963 to 2026, the IEBC has remained the most dangerous workplace in Kenya. As Dr. Ethikon prepares for the next cycle, we must ask, has the system finally cleansed? Or is the shadow just waiting for the next person to sit in the chair? History tells us that power is never given, it is taken. But at the IEBC, the cost of taking that power is often a price no one should have to pay. As a new team prepares to count the votes for 2027, the question isn't just about who will win, it's about who will survive the aftermath. Now my question is the IEBC chair truly cast, or are these tragedies just the dark cost of our democracy? I want to hear your theories in the comments below. Don't hold back. If you want to dive deeper into the mysteries that define our nation, make sure you've joined the Dark Echoes community by hitting subscribe. And if you're ready for the next investigation, click the video on your screen right now. Until next time, keep listening to the echoes.